Oh, hey, I'm just refueling here before I go hit the road again. While I got you here, let me tell you about this game I've recently played. It's a game where you get to experience the thrill of driving massive trucks across the freeway, enjoying the majestic American landscape of mobile homes and McDonald's. A game where you overcome the hardships of trucker life, like speed addiction and lot lizards. And that game is called American Truck Simulator. American Truck Simulator is what it says it is. It's a simulation game about driving trucks, and honestly has a pretty strong following for such an obscure game. But why? Why would someone want to play a game about driving a truck for 12 hours, living off of overpriced shit coffee and sleeping in a fucking freight yard? As if normal life didn't suck enough as it is. But don't worry, SCS Software has you covered. I've noticed that this game and its sister game, Euro Truck Simulator, seem to have a decent number of people streaming it on Twitch, considering that this is a pretty obscure game. And it also has a pretty overwhelmingly positive reception on Steam. I've personally put in over 80 hours into this game, so I think I've played it enough to give my own 2 cents on it. However, my experience with the truck driving games did not start with American Truck Simulator. Back in the day, I was a huge fan of the Hard Truck series. The first game I played in the series was Hard Truck Road to Victory, which honestly was more of a racing game than a truck sim. My favorite game in the series was Hard Truck 2. It was more of a true trucking sim with some arcade elements. Then came Hard Truck 18 Wheels of Steel, which was even more of a sim, but it only lets you drive 18-wheelers, no box trucks. SCS Software then took over development from the original company ValueSoft. SCS made 18 Wheels of Steel and an unnecessary number of spin-offs over the next decade. I only played one of them, 18 Wheels of Steel American Long Haul, and it was very mediocre. However, SCS made Euro Truck Simulator 1 and 2, which have received very high praise. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. The base game only includes California, Nevada, and Arizona was added in for free at a later date, so if you buy it now, it only has 3 states. I mean, I thought I was playing American Truck Simulator, not West Coast Truck Simulator. Its sister game, Euro Truck Simulator 2, includes Germany, East France, the UK, Austria, and everything in between. I'm not sure which game has a larger landmass, but there certainly seems to be more roads in the European game. So that's kind of disappointing. What's even more disappointing is that there are other states being added, but as paid DLC. Now, I'm not entirely opposed to DLC being in a game, but there has to be value there. The DLC for a new state costs about $12 US, which I think is overpriced. Right now, Oregon, Idaho, Washington, New Mexico, and Colorado are all available for purchase. I mean, who doesn't want to pay $12 to drive through Idaho? The base game is about $20, which seems like a good price, but the DLC model leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So the game is about building your own trucking company through hauling cargo. After saving up some money, you can buy another truck and hire a driver. You repeat this process to grow your company and earn even more income. You can also buy your own trailers and assign them to your drivers to make even more money on top of that. On your journey to building your own trucking empire, you will have to plan your routes and trips to make it on time. Your truck can run out of gas and you can become fatigued over time. Gas stations or rest areas are not always available, so know your limits. But honestly, I've rarely ever run into a problem. The limits on these deliveries are very generous. I mean, you would have to be the laziest piece of shit to not make it on time. Even the time-sensitive deliveries are not that hard. Sometimes roads get closed off in random events and you're forced to find another route, but other than that, there aren't many other challenges on the road. You can adjust the random event frequency in the options, but personally I wouldn't, unless you're looking for an apocalypse playthrough. There are way stations and police, but they're hardly a nuisance. There are never any random events on the business side of things. Sometimes a driver can't find cargo to haul, so they just end up returning to the garage, footing you the bill for gas and maintenance. But 99% of the time, your drivers are making a profit for you. The game includes real-life trucks with a ton of customization from different engines, transmissions, accessories, and paint jobs. I do feel the amount of truck models is a bit on the lighter side, and there should be a few more. There aren't any classic trucks or box trucks. The traffic patterns seem realistic, with traffic changing during different times of the day. More traffic during rush hour and less during the night. The graphics are pretty solid for a $20 game. There does seem to be some pop-in issues at a distance. The shadow quality could also be better. I have seen some issues with tearing, but this just could be my own PC. But I have to admit that the scenery is quite beautiful at times. It includes real-life locations that look just like their real-life counterparts. The traffic looks pretty good, and there are even pedestrians on foot. There is nothing unusual with the sound. Sound effects are what you would expect them to be. I will say there are lots of lame horns for the base trucks, but they can be upgraded. So, if you can do that as quick as possible. There is no background music during gameplay, but you can use the radio function to play real-life music and radio shows. So what's my final take? American Truck Simulator is a solid game, but it's held back by its DLC model and its lack of difficulty at times. It's slow-paced and relaxing. So, if you're expecting wall-to-wall action, you're probably going to be disappointed. The game is what it says it is. It's a truck simulator, and it does a good job of it. But I feel like it could be better. When I rate a game, I go from a scale that goes from 1 to 10. 1 being an unholy abomination, 5 being average, and 10 being god tier. So, for American Truck Simulator, I give it a 6 out of 10. Slightly above average. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta get back on the road.